Hi, Neil Hansen here from FitnessWorks. Over the past couple weeks, I've written a few different posts or done some videos on how we think and how that affects the results that we're getting from our bodies. One of the big ones that I talk about quite frequently is the need to know, or the advantage of knowing what the payoff is for what it is that you want to achieve from your body. Most of the time we think that if we achieve this thing from the outside, meaning if my body looks a certain way, I'll feel a certain way. And in fact, everything we want for the payoff. We want it for the reason we think that we'll feel better in having it. But acknowledging what that might be, or what that is, before you get there, actually connects this physical thing to a deep, potentially core value for you. So what I have to share in this video is to expand on that a little bit, but also to share a personal story with you, something that I've experienced. About 2.5 years ago, I broke my collarbone snowboarding. I was in a half pipe, and I caught the edge of a half pipe and came crashing down and fractured the distal end of my collarbone, which required a plate to be put in there. From the surgery, the stress of the surgery, the stress of breaking a bone, the stress of the chemicals that were in my body prior, during, and after the surgery, the emotional stress of having to pay 10 grand out of my own pocket for surgery, being a self-employed person, get the best insurance policies, and the combination of all that, I ended up gaining about 10 pounds. Now, my body, typically throughout my adult life, hasn't been in anything to holler or hoot at, but I haven't been really out of shape either. So I'll show you a picture here. This is me about 3 years ago. Excuse me, this is me about 5 years ago. And I'm not horribly out of shape. I'm not in great shape. In fact, I think on that was a vacation. I think I got myself into shape. That was me at about 175 pounds. Of course, sitting doesn't help, but just wanted to give you some sort of frame of reference, and put 10 pounds on top of that body. And I expected it to some degree because I was injured. I couldn't work out. I didn't really change my eating, but because of all the stress, my body had obviously gained some weight. And after that, I rehabbed my own shoulder and I started working out. And after about a month, well, I had figured before I started working out that me starting a workout program after 4 months off would have shocked my body and everything would have just fallen right back. So I really wasn't too stressed out about it, at least so I thought. And after a month, I'd probably changed maybe a pound, and I realized something was off. So I did the very thing that I have my clients do, which was to sit down, close my eyes, and actually pay attention to how I felt about my current condition. And lo and behold, I had a huge knot in my stomach when I thought about viewing myself, thinking about how I looked in the mirror. And I realized that even though I was saying, I'm good on the surface, I really wasn't. Deep down, I wasn't, because I was judging my body. So I went through my process of asking myself, what am I making my body mean or say about me that has me feeling, at that time I was disappointed. And I was feeling disappointed because I wasn't representing myself the way I think someone in my industry should. And I asked myself if that was a true statement. Am I looking like I don't represent myself the way I should? And I thought that was true. So I continued asking that line of questioning until I got to a point where I could say that it was meaning that I was lazy. And I asked myself if that was true. And I wasn't, because I was actually working pretty hard at that time and wasn't lazy. But the thought that I every time I saw myself in the back of my mind, I felt I was looking lazy and inappropriate. And so I called BS on that. Once I did that, kind of squelched the feeling of negativity I had. And from there I decided to think about what it was that I wanted out of my body and my health. And I was able to define that very specifically in a physical sense. From there I went on to ask myself what it was that was going to provide for me. I wanted to be lean, and I wanted to have flat six-pack abs. That's just something that I've always wanted, and I hadn't had since I ran cross country in high school. And I asked myself, what would that provide for me that I don't have now? And I said, confidence. And not being truly inspired by that answer, I asked myself, what would having that confidence provide for me that I don't have now in my life? What would that do for me? And I said it would provide me a better, closer relationships. And I would be more social. What would being more social and close relationships provide for me? Better connection with people. What would better connection provide for me? And the point was, I kept asking that question until I got down to a point of it would allow me to express myself and be connected the way and live life the way that I was meant to live. And for me, completely moved and inspired me, and it still does. The fun part about that is that now I am connected the very thing that I want, the physical thing, with an emotional thing that is a core value for me. And once I was able to establish that, I didn't go any further within my coaching process, just acknowledging that and then trying to live into that emotional state as often as I can, this kind of sense of love and connection, and trying to find ways of living my life the way that I was designed to, and just expressing myself in a fun and happy way. The next month I lost 9 to 10 pounds, and then I continued to get leaner and leaner. So that was 2.5 years ago, and I took this picture just for just to be current. I didn't have anything else to show, but this is me currently now with where my abs are, and my body is being lean, and I cannot change it. I've completely changed my set point up to this point, and I can't change it. If I go up a pound or down a pound, I always kind of come right back to this current body state, and that's because I've changed my expectation. I've changed my emotional standpoint surrounding my body. And I don't really have to work out much in order to keep my body here. In fact, I probably only work out maybe a total hour and a half a week. That's maybe 20 minutes here, half hour there. I do maybe one cardio a week, which is the last 10 minutes. So the point that I'm sharing with you is knowing why you want what you want and anchoring in the physical thing, knowing what it is you want. After being peace with where you are, knowing what you want, and knowing why you want it, connecting that emotional thing, which will be connected to a core value. When you can connect it to a core value, nothing will stop you. And when you can live in that state, whether it's when you reflect on your body or other things in your life that help you feel that same way, you are elevating your body and putting yourself into a high state of energy or frequency, which will keep your body moving at a high rate and keep your metabolism up, things of that nature. So just some things to think about. I hope that helps you on your journey. And stay tuned for my next blog post. Cheers.